Hey everybody, I am in beautiful Detroit, Motor City, Michigan, outside a beautiful space, 30,000 square feet of shops called Ponyride. This is a collaborative workspace where entrepreneurs, makers, and people with an idea can find space to build, but also give back to their community. What does that mean in practical terms? Let's go inside and get a tour. So Noah, tell me about Ponyride. Tell me what's going on here.
So Ponyride's a huge building. It's 30,000 square feet. We have over 60 residents. Right now we're in the dance studio, so here we have about 10 dance groups that use this really regularly. This space was the first to be finished, and like every space in the building, it was all volunteer work, people who wanted to come into the building soon or had something they wanted to start up, and they put in the sweat equity to finish these spaces so they could use them and then people after them could use them.
Okay, so this is a community set of spaces that locals use for making, for gathering, for dancing, for whatever need they see and can put effort into making.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a lot of manufacturing space and art space, but what we ask of residents that come in is that they have a social mission, that they're giving back to the community in some way. And sometimes that's really direct, like A to B. The thing that they do gives back to the community, and sometimes it's a little more around that, where they have a retail product that they're selling, but they spend a lot of time with youth groups that we have through the building.
So the idea of community and collaboration is baked right into this place from the foundation.
Yeah. So it's all about providing new opportunities, a cheap space to do their work, and help them develop along the way.
That's awesome. Can we see some of the spaces?
Yeah, let's run around.
Hey, Gabriel.
Hey.
This is Adam.
Hey, Gabriel.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I like your setup here. Tell me what's going on.
Thanks. Well, we're in Smith Shop, and we're a custom metalworking studio. We do everything from jewelry and goldsmithing all the way to architectural ironwork projects.
I see some architectural ironwork happening right here.
So a huge range of different work. We do commissions. We also do wholesale, where we sell to boutiques around the country and around the world, and we do direct retail through online shopping, through our online store, and then we're going to craft fairs, art fairs, things like that.
Amazing. So yeah, I see everything from jewelry tables to a running forge and that's a power hammer, right?
Yeah, that's a power hammer.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So
that's fabulous.
Yeah, we have there's 6 people who work here, and we have an intern as well. So we have a strong intern program that we've had for about 4 years. We're on our 11th intern. Serica over here, our newest intern, just started a couple weeks ago. So can I tell you what we have going on in the shop right now?
Please, by all means.
Yeah, so we have a railing project that we're working on right here. This is a side panel of a railing, and then we have a run that's going down a set of stairs. So that's they're all being fitted up with the scroll work and the ornamental pieces that we're forging everything and forming and shaping it all by hand for these projects. And then Erica is working on a display for a trade show. Xander is working on a limited run of hunting knives for a private client.
Oh, wow.
And then he'll be doing a set of hatchets for them afterwards. So that's our first foray into blade making. By trade, or by training, I'm actually a jeweler. I started off doing goldsmithing and fine silversmithing.
So this is like giant to you, working with the forge, right?
Well, we've kind of grown into it over time.
Yeah.
About 8 years ago, I built a forge for a project that I wanted to do. Once I had the forge, gradually I started using it more and more. And one day I woke up and I'm like, hey, I'm a blacksmith.
You love the feel of the metal when it's warm?
Yeah. So the other thing that's pretty unique about us is our sensibility. Because we were trained as jewelers, we have this really tight approach to the steel work that we do.
So it's very exacting.
Yeah. And we're not afraid to use a file to clean things up after we're done with the hammer. So over here, so there's some production items and then some one-of-a-kind items as well.
Oh wow.
So
may I?
Yeah, please.
This is an act. That's magnificent.
Oh, thank you. That's our corkscrew.
Bah. Wow, that is so beautiful.
Thank you. So we have things that are production oriented, like these bottle openers, our cheese knife set, our appetizer forks and
Yeah.
then our servingware set, and then we have things that are one of a kind like this, where there's not much need for a really fancy filed 3-tine fork with engraving with like a canvas leaf handle. That's the kind of one of a kind thing we would take to like an art fair or put in our online shop.
Right. And this is also kind of the way you like keep from going crazy with production work.
Yeah,
Just turn out
exactly.
something really unique.
Yeah. So we do a lot. We do quite a bit of commission work, which is usually one of a kind. The last 2 days we were installing a 24-foot trellis on site at a job. So now we're back in the shop, and I'm making some servingware, spatula and a meat fork. Doing a little hardware project for someone. But we always have 4 or 5 projects going at a time, so you're able to float around and people can follow their own interests.
Yeah.
But we have a really collaborative practice here where everyone has shared authorship over what we're doing, and everyone can contribute in the way that they're comfortable or that they're interested in.
That's brilliant. Wow, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, thanks. These are. Can I show you one more thing?
Please.
So these are coasters, and this is a product that we're launching this summer. So these are the prototypes for the coasters, but they're brass. They're engraved brass, and so they're
Wow.
sort of upset on the edges, and then they're engraved. We have a pneumatic engraving machine that really allows you to draw with the engraving tool,
Right.
but makes it go much faster than trying to hand engrave it. So it just puts some power behind it.
Those are so lovely.
Yeah, and so those are historic vessel forms, and then these are plants that have historically been used to create beverages.
Wheat for
Yep.
beer.
Yep.
Juniper berries? No?
Coffee,
Coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
tea,
Tea.
and hops.
Cool. I also really appreciate, why is it always the same size hole? I mean,
So
the
this
random
is-
distribution is
yeah.
one thing, but I
Yeah.
noticed that they're always the same size hole, so how come?
We got this tabletop used, and
Okay.
so we meant to like fill it all in with epoxy so it was flat. And
Yeah.
5 years later, we never got around to it. There's always something more pressing, right?
So do you know where the table came from?
It was I think originally in this building when
Yeah.
it used to be a print facility, and then there were some woodworkers in here for about 6 months before we moved in.
Right.
And this is how it came to us. So
Wow.
I'm guessing that they did a big production job where they were drilling a lot of holes. I don't know.
It's shockingly well distributed.
Yeah.
But it's weird that they're all the same size.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you guys have a card?
Absolutely.
Hey, Phil.
Hello, Noah. How you doing?
So, Adam, this is Phil, our founder.
A pleasure.
Great
This
to
is
meet you,
an
Adam.
amazing thing that you have formed. Tell me about the genesis of it.
Well, I bought the building as part of kind of the foreclosure crisis, and because I purchased from a bank in right around, I think it was 09 or 2010 anyway, and I felt guilty because it obviously had a negative history in our community being a foreclosure. So, but I also had been renting in Detroit for 9 years and moved my wood shop 5 times. So I bought it, but then I said, how can the community benefit instead of just me benefiting from it? And so we immediately turned it to a nonprofit development. And living here was amazing for 2.5 years, like in abandoned offices. And like, we literally moved in with no electricity and all this other craziness.
Right.
And that was a blast. But after 2.5 years of living in a 10 by 10 cement room, I actually moved out into a real house.
Yeah.
And now just kind of work out of here with a bunch of other crazy, talented, people that, we kind of started with this idea of a post-education, like a secondary kind of education place where people can, not necessarily have to spend tuition to get into, can have an affordable access point to. And it's just really opened up to all these eclectic different things. So the experiences are very unique, where a woodworker will work with a hip hop dance studio. So things that these collaborations you would normally see, and that's been
Because of the
genius.
juxtaposition with
Yeah.
the space.
Yeah, exactly.
So your original vision has changed radically since.
Yeah, oh yeah. I invited all my smart friends over. We like had this dinner in this crazy abandoned building. I was like, what should I do with this? And everyone just said whatever they were passionate about. We're all selfish, so it's like, oh well, you know, I'm in the music industry, so we need more recording studios and more of this, and which of course we do. And so what we decided was not, you know, prescribe to the community who they are, but let them come in and determine what it would be.
Right.
And that's how the Boat Maker ended up being next to the hip hop dance studio, and how they ended up working together.
Yeah.
Out of, you know, the community saying this is who we are and this is what we want to do.
How is it going? How is the amount of spaces moving through? Is it different places coming in all the time?
Yeah, so, you know, we started with this fiscal nightmare of like, how do we make this work, and lost money for the first 4 years, and then kind of slowly, organically made that work, which is awesome. So I don't lose any money, and just it actually does break even like a nonprofit's supposed to. But then the other thing, like the obvious, we've, you know, all been in shared situations before, the cleaning the dishes, unplugging the toilets, that nonsense, getting through all that, and then getting through how we can best work together and utilize each other's skill sets is the most important thing. And that's the thing that I think organically has happened and we've learned from, and we continue to be able to make easier and easier.
Really, really inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Clayton and Paris
Hey,
over in Vertigo.
Hello.
They do woodworking, but they do a lot more than that too.
Tell me, these are beautiful, but what's going on?
So Paris and I co-own a construction and woodworking company. We moved into Ponyride in September to start prototyping some stools that are made out of reclaimed lumber.
So that's these guys.
So these are the prototypes here. Those are the finished ones over there.
Oh, wow.
So we work all with young adults who've been through the justice system. So the idea of these is to kind of make them as modular as possible, so we can just kind of put them together kind of quickly and keep them moving, and also have something that will last a lifetime.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you getting the recycled lumber from?
So the idea started by the construction company. We do demolition, and then we'd end up with this old lumber, and it's beautiful old stuff. We didn't want to throw it out, so that's where it started. But now we're buying it from Reclaim Detroit, which is they kind of do service work in the area with different young adults. So these are all actually made out of old flooring that we found in the building. So you can kind of see on the edge there, it's got a little bit
Is
of
this the old tongue and groove?
Yeah, well, it's the underneath.
Oh,
They have
okay,
a little
okay.
Space for the glue to go and stuff. So
Wow.
let it move. So yeah, it's turned on its edge and then cut.
I love the design of this. I love how both organic and yet clearly. I like things that talk about their own manufacturing,
Yeah.
right? How are these strung together? Is it all biscuits, or what do you call them, dominoes?
Dominoes, yeah. So we use dominoes. It's a lot of wood glue, really.
Yeah.
And wood glue is, you know, been for a long time stronger than a wood bond for a lot
I know.
of times.
Wood glue is the one I say, I hate glue,
Yeah.
because glue is shit. But wood glue is the only glue that does what it says it does,
Yeah.
as good or better than
Yeah,
any other
definitely,
glue.
definitely.
This is how these stools start, with a piece like that?
Yeah, pretty much. So we put it through a process. We take the nails out. We sand it down. We put it through the wide belt sander, and the different process they go through. But yeah, then put it through the jigs. We got little jigs cut out for them. You can just like and get them together. You know, glue up.
I love that this will end up, oh, you still have some nails in there.
Yeah, this is one of
The
the
hardest part of the process.
It is,
the
yeah?
element part. Yeah, it's probably
Do
the
you use
hardest
one of those
process.
old nail pullers?
Well, we do got like
Got a couple
it's an
different
old
ways. We
pretty-
use a metal detector. A lot
Yeah.
of times we just have to cut it out and throw it away.
Yeah.
because It's just too.
I love that that such simple beginnings. Now, is this just straight pine? This is like something that's not that exotic?
It's all from Michigan. I believe it's mostly fir.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's beautiful. You know, it's probably 200 years old, the tree, when it was cut down 100 years ago. So, you know, it's the type of lumber that you really does not exist anywhere.
Well, I also really like the different colors, right? There's so many different, it's like calico almost.
Yeah. You get a lot of variation in it.
And then, you know, all the nail holes in here. It's like you're not hiding the history at all.
Yeah.
You're bringing it front and center. So where do you guys go and find the lumber like this?
We like in different places. Detroit, Reclaim Detroit. One of the places. The other places.
Architectural salvage.
Architectural Savage.
I'll bet once you start to get going, there'll be more people will call you up and say, I have some stuff for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of the idea. I mean, in other countries, there are laws that say you have to use X amount of the lumber or X amount of the materials in this house, and most of it just gets thrown out in the landfill here.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they're going, last year they went, I think, over 10,000 houses came down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there's a lot of beautiful lumber that's currently just getting thrown in the landfill. It's a lot of time to get it from that to that, but it definitely would be a lot less expensive to be buying new wood. But I think that the quality that you get out of this is kind of really impossible to find now. So.
Wonderful. Beautiful work, guys. Thank you. Really inspiring.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, Erica.
Hey, how are you?
Good. This is
Good.
Adam. Hello.
Hey, Adam.
Nice to
to
meet
meet
you.
you.
Erica's part of Empowerment Plan, and she can tell you more.
Tell me about Empowerment Plan.
I will. So, Empowerment Plan, we're a nonprofit organization located here in Detroit, and we employ single parents from local shelters and train our employees in sewing and manufacturing to make coats that turn into sleeping bags that we distribute back to the homeless across the nation. It's a lot.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's an amazing circle
It
that
is.
you've just drawn.
Yeah, so we're employing the people that would be on the receiving end of the product in the first place.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I see, what, a couple of dozen sewing machines going? How
Yeah.
many coats are you producing? Can I see the coat?
Yeah, for sure.
I have so many questions.
We've been around for about 5 years now, and we've done 20,000 coats, which we've distributed in 49 states, 7 Canadian provinces, and small numbers internationally. And we've pulled 43 families from homelessness throughout that time period as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you want to see it?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is the coat in its most compact form.
Oh, it's super light.
Yes, so it's very heavy duty, but it's super lightweight, easy to carry with you.
Right.
And thanks to some of our great corporate partners, Carhartt donates the material for the outer shell, and we work with GM with some upcycled materials for the insulation.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so it can be worn kind of over the shoulder, like a crossbody bag. So we find that in the off season, people aren't discarding them, leaving them behind. It's very easy to transport and keep with you.
Right.
So you unbuckle the arms and it opens up
Beautiful coat.
into a coat.
Wow, yes.
And then the foot bag comes out,
Oh, crazy.
and
So it is a full
becomes
sleeping.
a full sleeping bag. Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Has the design morphed over the years?
It has, yeah. So the foot bag is also, I should show you, is also
Oh, it's removable. Okay,
which
great,
is
yeah.
a new design feature.
Uh-huh.
So it can be used as a bag, and it's not just a one-purpose feature anymore.
Right.
But yeah, it's evolved a lot, and the founder, Veronica Scott, she started it when she was a student in college, just as a class project, and it clearly evolved into something much more than she ever imagined. And we have really big plans to grow the mission and scale the model, so it's exciting.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's super inspiring.
Yeah, thank
how did the idea first get started?
Yeah, so Veronica was she was studying product design at a local college and was given an assignment to design a product that would actually fill a need in the community. So she started spending some time at some local shelters and was inspired by those that weren't coming into the shelter and wanted to create a product that would kind of help alleviate the elements and the struggles they were facing out on the streets, and came up with this brilliant idea. And one woman, though, did not want a coat. She said a coat was a Band-Aid for a larger issue here, and what she needed was a job. So that kind of triggered something deeper in Veronica, and here we are today. So.
These coats aren't purchased, they're given to people.
They are given at no cost to those in need through sponsorships that we receive through our donor base and corporate sponsors and whatnot. So it's $100 to sponsor a coat to provide to someone.
Okay, and so then you guys take those sponsorships in different locations in different cities and different organizations and distribute them as those fundraisers happen.
Correct.
Wow.
Yep.
20,000 coats in 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the grand plan moving forward?
Yeah, so we're looking to scale up our model here in Detroit first, and we're going to be launching a retail line later this year that will be within the nonprofit, but any proceeds that we receive from those sales will funnel back in to sustain the jobs that we create. So Yeah, and we offer a lot of other programming besides employment. We do GED classes, financial literacy, digital literacy, so kind of take a holistic approach to getting people back on their feet and back into the workforce.
Wow, so every last part is geared towards pushing the community forward.
Exactly.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much for taking the time to
course.
show this thing. It's really inspiring.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Amazing. Noah, thank you so much. This place is super inspiring. I'm inspired, but I also have to know why is it called Ponyride?
Yeah.
I've been wondering this the whole time.
It's a silly name. So one of the biggest reasons is to get a bunch of adults to say Ponyride over and over and over again.
Okay.
But it's also the idea of being able to get on the horse, fall off, get back on again, and have fun doing it. Because this place, it's about mistakes, you know?
Right.
Starting a business and doing something like this is about all the failures that lead up to the time it works.
That's lovely. That's much lovelier than I imagined it could possibly be. It's fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for
I
coming
really
in.
appreciate it.
Yeah.